Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit here, back again with Attack on Titan. We are on episode 15 of season 3, and in the last episode, we left off with Reiner being bombarded with those Thunder Spear things. So I don't know how much the Thunder Spears on their own are really going to affect him. I mean, the last image of the last bombardment of Thunder Spears, they looked like they were close. Like, I mean, because they have to dig into his Titan body, right? And I don't know exactly. He can't be that far off, like, the edge of his body, right? In the nape. He can't be that far off. And he only has armor on the outside of his body, right? It's like scales in a way. So if it was to dig in, I don't know, like, if the body would be able to take, like, that much punishment. If it would get through and actually damage him. But regardless, he's getting bombarded. That's where it ended off, with that fucking cliffhanger. Luckily, I didn't have to wait a week, but whatever, it is what it is. So yeah, other than that, I don't think there's anybody really in Shiganshina that can even help him at this point. Because I'm sure Berthold, I figured he would probably be in the that weird fucking Titan that's on all fours, right? It's carrying luggage and fucking, you know, boxes and things like that. And from Berthold's perspective back in episode 13, it looked like he was looking through like a hole of like what is presumably like inside of a box. So as of right now, I don't think he has any help, so I don't know how he's going to get out of this situation. He did mention that he has to resort to that, and he didn't specify on exactly what that was. Because immediately once he said that, they started bombarding him with these Thunder Spears. So he hasn't, you know, been able to resort to whatever it was. So I'm sure that's probably his thing. Whatever he's planning to do, I'm pretty sure that's his only way out of it. But yeah, Eren right now is in his Titan form as well. So I mean, even if it's all going to depend on what Reiner actually has planned. But as of right now, I don't know. I don't know if he can actually run away or what. But I feel like that's his only chance. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else really to talk about. So we're just going to get in episode 15 and see what we get. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, episode 15. Fucking Christ. That first scene, like, really fucking, like, oh, it just left me with just a horrible feeling, because it's like, I said this when we got that scene. When did we fucking get that scene? It must have been in season 2, right? It had to have been. I said that when we got that scene the first time round. Although we've got obviously more of it here, we've got it from their point of view. But I try so hard to not just think of Reiner and Berthold, and by extension Annie, as like these evil bad people. Because honestly, I think they were, because we got a look at them in season 2, like before they even made it to the walls, where they were young, right? And they even called back to it, like saying like, oh, we're only just children back then. That they've been essentially conditioned to believe that the humanity that's inside the walls are an evil race. So they've been conditioned to think that way, right? So I try my hardest, right, to not think of them as, like, evil people. But if you're going to kill them because of that, then kill them yourself and make it painless. Don't allow him to die in the most brutal fucking way possible. And I just... Because just the irony of Reiner's statement saying that, like, you know what I mean, like, oh, he was saying to Annie, right, oh, have you gone soft with this evil race, right? So he refers to the humanity inside the walls as an evil race, right? Yet he allows that to happen. Like, you know what I mean? So I can look at Annie more so. The way she acted seems to me that she doesn't want that she might have her own thing going on. I'm not sure she looks at the, because clearly all of that group, right? Marcel, when he was there as well, I imagine all of them were given those orders. They were given those orders to, like, one of them was to get the coordinate, and the other one was to destroy that humanity, right? So I guarantee all of them knew, like, that was part of their mission. But I don't see it as Annie actually wanting that to happen. I don't think she even wants to do that. I might be wrong. It's just from the way she acted, because she was like, she called Reiner an arsehole, right? Because I think she was referring to the fact that Reiner was being careless and speaking about it openly, like, you know, in the middle of nowhere, like, not really paying attention. So to me, Annie did not want that to happen at all. Now, I guess I suppose you could say, like, by extension, like, Reiner and Bertolt didn't anyway. But if their whole thing is to destroy that race, then they can't have it both ways. But it seems like at every opportunity they're trying to have it both ways, but it's impossible. Then later on in the episode, where Bertolt's like, "You're my beloved comrades, but I intend to kill you." Like, first of all, right, that statement as a whole doesn't make sense. Now, if they're going for the greater good angle or whatever the fuck, then give them the reasoning then. Don't just keep them oblivious to what the fuck is going on. Armin said, right, that the side, like, you know, the human, our side, right, we're the ones that don't have the information, right? So they can't talk it out and get the reasoning why. And I think that this is the thing that's just so, like, trying to get Bertolt and Reiner on side is just not happening because they refuse to say anything. They don't say anything. They just you know what I mean? You can't just leave it open like that. Either you have it one way or you have it the other. You don't go down the middle and tell them that you're going through with this, but then not say anything. If you weren't going to say anything to them to begin with, then just kill them. Don't go up and talk to them and have these conversations with them. Just fucking do it for it. You know what I mean? So I can't get on side with them. With Annie, I think there might be a bit more to her. Because out of the lot of them, Annie has seemed the most human out of the three. Bertolt has always been up in the air because he well, like it was, you know, confirmed this episode. I mean, we knew beforehand he's not a reliable person. He's always waiting for somebody else to make the move and then follow them. He doesn't step up to be his own person and think things through himself. Although he is now. You know, but now that, you know, he's fully on that side again, like, yeah, I don't. Yeah, you just can't have it both ways, and I can't get on board with them. I can't, because it all comes down to, like, all right, if they're specifically not giving information away and whatever, maybe because they're still trying to fight this thing of having it both ways. Maybe that is it in some sense, but that is just strictly with Bertolt. I'm pretty sure Reiner at this point is just fully on the other side, whoever the other side are. You know, Bertolt, up until a point, still willing to talk, I guess. I guess at this point he's not willing to talk anymore. I think that's maybe his last thing, but yeah, I can't get on board with them. I mean, you can't sit there and talk about evil, like, you know, us being an evil race when Marco, probably the most, you know, the nicest, friendliest fucking person, regardless, you know what I mean, character in the show, it doesn't matter, like, you know, even on your side, you know what I mean, he is literally you know, the opposite of what evil is, Marco, and you do that to him. Like, if anyone's evil here, mate, it's fucking you. So, who knows? I mean, there could be something that, because the humanity that's inside the walls, we know have had their mind altered, right? So, like, they've forgotten anything that was previously before the walls. I don't know if it's possible that this humanity that was inside the walls were, like, savages in some way, or like a race of humans that try to wipe out whoever the other side is. And I don't know, maybe it's like one of those things where they've always been you know, treat like shit and always, you know, always like sort of warred upon, and then, you know, by extension, but then, you know, they're not those people anymore, if that was the case. But clearly they're not designed to know that. I mean, I don't think it's, I really don't think it's any coincidence that generally the people who have Titan shifter powers, especially in that group, were chosen as children first, because you can, you know, you can use that to your advantage. They're young, so they're impressionable, and I'm positive they've used those kids to basically, you know, tell them and you know, trick them into believing that that you know, they're using them. They're child soldiers. They're using them as child soldiers that, you know, don't know any better. Like, they didn't know any better, and now because they've sort of like lived through it, they're still conditioned to see that through, no matter how wrong it is. So you know, that's the thing. From that point of view, it's so fucked, because that's the reason why I'm combating wanting to try and not just see them as bad, because they are conditioned as almost like child soldiers to be that way. But then they do something like what they did with Marco, and it's like, well, you know what I mean? I just kind of want you to die then. Like, you know what I mean? So, I mean, at this point, I'll tell you now, at this point, just kill them off, because clearly they're too far gone to even consider talking anyway. So if it's got to be in one way of just me wanting them to die strictly because they are evil, but also on the other side they're too far gone. You know what I mean? You can't change their mind. They're probably always going to think this way, so it's better to just put them out of their misery then, in that sort of sense. So I think at this point, just kill them off. But I don't know how they do that. They're doing the war of attrition thing with Berthold, so, you know, I mean, that's the only thing they can do. They can't get close because he'll just let off that steam. So they can only just, I guess, wait until he's run out of juice, in a sense. So, but we still don't know what they're doing. They're not leading. They're not going back to Commander Irwin, so it's up to Armin to figure out exactly what they're going to do here. I don't know what he's going to do with Levi. Irwin specifically. I don't know what he's going to do with Levi, if he's going to leave him out there. I mean, I guess so, because there's nothing he can really do on the inside. Like, no one person can really do much to, or do anything to the Colossal Titan. The Colossal Titan itself, they said, like, they didn't really go into specifics about what their plan was. Now, I think it's possible that they are, because Reiner and Berthold know about the basement, right? Or do they? They might not, actually, to be fair. Because if they do, then I wonder if the point is to just absolutely destroy the, like, Shiganshina, so, like, they can, like, basically cover it, like, cover up the basement or whatever and stuff like that. But then, as long as Eren knows where it is, with his Titan form, he can just, you know, you can just dig through the rubble. But I guess, I don't know, buying time for something else. I mean, Reiner is healing right now, so he's going to be back into the fray at some point. and then after that, I don't know what they do. They still have, the Beast Titan still has all of the bigger Titans lined up. I still don't know to what degree that sort of box Titan, like, the ability is. It can talk, so there's that. It's interesting that that those two can talk. So I'm kind of wondering if this is a gradual sort of evolution in a way with the Titan that you have hold of. That if you have it for a long period, like a long enough period of time, eventually you can start to develop as a Titan. I take this directly from when Eren got it, that the very first few times he couldn't remember that was him. You know what I mean? So he wasn't in control of it, and then he gradually got control of it more and more, and then he's got this, you know, this like armored sort of ability, and he can, you know, you can create that like hardening material. And then, like, I'm guessing, like, over time that you sort of grow accustomed to the Titan form, that you're able to speak with it. Because, I mean, we got the name of the war chief guy, which is Zeke, right? That was actually the name of my guinea pig, funny enough, that I had, like, 12 years ago or something. Might have been longer than that. But yeah, Zeke. He seems like an older guy, so it's possible he's had this Beast Titan for a long time. And then we don't know who the Box Titan is. But if it's the same thing, then maybe that whoever is the human within that has also had that Titan for a long enough period of time to be able to sort of talk with it and whatnot. I'm sure when Ymir had her Titan, she talked slightly, right? When she was like, if you want to live, like, grab on, right, in season 2. And we know that she's had it for a long time. So, I mean, that was a very, very long time. But I don't know, there's got to be something of, like, you have to be a Titan shifter in order to do it, right? So, you know. So I would assume at some point then, if they got it around the same time, I mean, Reiner and Berthold and Annie and all them were like, they were Titan shifters before Ymir was. Ymir was a Titan for a long time, but yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, but the whole time to talk thing, I like how Armin brought it back up when Marco said, you know, I mean, we didn't even have time to talk this through or anything like that, you know. God, I just can't get over that fucking scene, man. It just, it irks me, because it's like, if you did it just to kill him off, I don't understand why you couldn't just fucking kill him off in you know, just do it in a not fucking, in the worst, most brutal, horrible way possible, you know? I don't know. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else to really talk about it. So yeah, we got the Beast Titan, we got him in human form. I don't think there's anything else I can really talk upon, like the reasoning why they say that this race of people is evil. Again, I only think it's something that we will not be privy to for a while. We need to get the other side's, like, we need to get more from the other side's perspective, because that's the only way you're going to get it. You're not going to get it from our side because they don't have the memory of it, so it's not going to matter. I don't know if the other side is the, like, where Ymir was from. It's just interesting because that civilization, wherever Ymir was from, was very, like, it was ahead in terms of, like, technology and stuff. Like, the stuff that they were using were very, like, almost like Renaissance, like, era kind of stuff. Like, it was like almost like muskets and stuff that they were using, and like it seemed like almost like ahead of, like, technology wise, ahead of the humanity that we're with, where like ours seem a bit more primitive almost. So I don't know if that's the other side, or that's just like a third fucking civilization thing. I don't know. From what I see right now, though, because the other side is using child soldiers as a way to further their sort of goals, that just makes me think that they're the evil side. So, you know, I mean, obviously I would think that because, you know, but it's Attack on Titan, so, you know, there's this, like, sort of, like, subverting expectation kind of with just the quality of the writing. It wouldn't surprise me if in the end it was something along those lines of, like, this race of people that we know, unbeknownst to them, of course, that they are part of like a race of people that were very evil, I guess. But you know, if that's the case, then the other side is as well, because using child soldiers to fucking do that is nah. So yeah, it also kind of makes me wonder exactly how much Berthold and Reiner and Annie actually know aside from that goal, like what goes on in their society. I would love to know, but yeah. Yeah, so I don't think there's anything else I really need to talk about, but yeah, it was a really, really, really cool episode. I don't know where we head. I don't know what Armin's plan is after this. I really don't. But yeah, that was all. So thank you everyone for watching. In the description below I have links to certain things. One of them is the Discord. If you want any information regarding my content, anything like that, get yourself over there. You can also come talk to me or the community. And Patreon. So I do have a Patreon. If you don't support me, that'll be very much appreciated. There's a bunch of different tiers and rewards depending on how much you want to support me with. So there's the early access tier, $5 a month. That gives you access to shows a week early. And you get episodes, 4 episodes of Hunter x Hunter every week. So if you're interested in my reactions to that, get yourself over there, become an early access tier patron. $10 a month, that's the full length. That gives you access to my full length library. Everything I react to gets a full length, so there's that. $15 a month, that is the exclusive tier. That gives you access to a bonus show, which I'm currently reacting to, which is 7 Deadly Sins. So if you're interested in my reaction to that, get yourself over there for the exclusive tier. $50, that is the elite tier. Every time you pay $50, you get a choice of a show that you want me to react to, and I will react to it. It will go at the back of the list behind about 7 shows. Might take a while to get around to it, but I will do eventually. But if you don't want to wait that long and you want your show to be reacted to next, then you want to get God tier, which is $100. But that is all. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.